Hello and welcome to Starlight Talks. I'm here with Allison, who is the founder of Unashamed Voices of Autism, which is a great group that y'all should check out over on Facebook. And there's a great website, and I'll link all of those things after the live stream over on OurTism and on my page. Check out the website, OurTism.com, for my blogs and writings about living on the spectrum and all the great services we have to offer up there. We have all these great things coming up. Come back next week because I do these talks every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what guests I'll have next week, but hopefully it'll be a great time. Come back next week. Yeah, thank you, Allison, for joining this week.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Allison Knight. I am 29 years old, and I have a master's degree in social work, a bachelor's degree in social work, and a bachelor's degree in psychology. What got me into the subject specifically were to understand the human mind, because I wanted to understand more about neurotypicals, why they're so bizarre. That's what got me started. Just to understand more about myself and others. And I just kept going with it. I just wanted to, help other people. And I guess I was diagnosed at age 3 with autism in the early 1990s, back when little known was about it. My parents said I had trouble opening doors, and that was like, one of the cues that I was autistic. Because I have a brother who's about 2 years older than me, so they're like comparing him to me, and we're like, okay, well, she's very unique. So, and they brainstormed on me and all that. And then recently, after graduating with my master's, I talked to one of my professors who is, her son is autistic. And I was like, what to do next? Because I feel like we're not really represented as individuals. I feel like more it's about children. So that, as in research about autism, I always found like, children of autism, 1 in 59 people, 1 in 59 children with autism, I should say. I'm so used to like correcting myself, that child language, so sorry about that. But I'm so used to saying, oh, children with autism, that language, and it drives me nuts. It's like, I'm an adult, and I'm autistic, I exist. There's others, adults exist. Where are we? Why is it only talked about children? Where's the teenagers? Where's the adults? It's like we don't just magically disappear. So at first I started a blog where it was about my life in general, just talking about my life in general of autism. But I noticed like, wow, there's a lot of people who have this. I was like, there's a lot of people who are going unheard. So I talked to one of my friends about it, and they showed me this project called Humans of New York, where this photographer takes pictures of random people and asks about their day and just random facts about them. And I was like, you should do that to appeal to autism with adults and teenagers to get, just because there's so many blogs out there, we should connect them all together, to show everyone, like, hey, we are everywhere. And there's so many more resources that, we're not aware of. Because, like, I didn't know about these other blogs until I started my own blog. And I was like, I wish I was more aware when I was a kid about these blogs and these, networking and stuff. I was like, what if you connect all of them together and then show people that we are everywhere and that we're not going anywhere and that we should all be represented equally. So that's why I reformatted my entire blog around in September. So I started in May, and September I reformatted everything, changed literally everything, the whole mission, the whole format, and got new staff members, And I was like, to help me out with this, I was like, we need to do this. We need to interview people, these blogs, and we need to talk to these people to show that, we're all, shapes and sizes, different colors, religions, regions of areas, and that we can be any age and all that. So then when I first started doing that, I had maybe like 5 questions, like where are you from, what age, what's something you like to tell, a neurotypical, what's something you would like to talk about, tell to fellow autistic people, what was the research that's, and what was the research that really helped you. That was it. It was really quick, and then as the project grew, I saw more people, starting to be more thorough about it, and then someone else, told me like, what about people who are not diagnosed but are waiting to get diagnosed? I was like, we should do that too. We should include those people. And then they're like, or people who are self-diagnosed. I was like, we should. That's a great idea. So then we started adding more and adding more extensions, and I'm always actually extensions to that to help it grow. To have better represent everyone, because that's my goal is to like represent everyone. Because I feel like we as autistic adults and teenagers don't have a platform, and I think we fully deserve it, because I cannot tell you how many times I've heard, "Oh, you're autistic. Have you heard of Temple Grandin?" And it's like, yeah, I've heard of her. She's cool, but there's got to be others, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what got me all started.
Yeah, I think one of the first projects you did was the talent show. I saw
Yeah,
that. That was that was really cool. That it was, you know, showing off the talents and like the great skills that those of us on the spectrum have. That
right,
a lot of that gets skipped, and it's like, oh, what are your challenges? Like that, it becomes a focus of so many of everyone. Like so many groups are like, okay, we just complaining about all the horrible things, and that can be helpful. But I found like when you are more positive and you think about all the positive things autism brings, it's a lot.
oh yeah,
And when you have more of that mindset, it really helps you to be healthier and happier and do more when
right,
you are more positive minded. So I really like that about your group. Is it's yeah, sometimes you see people talking about negatives because that's part of life, but for the most part, it's so positive, and that's so
right.
rare in the autism world. And I really want to see more of that.
Oh, absolutely. I wanted something for like April, because that's Autism Month. I was like, I wanted to showcase that, show like, hey, showcase in some way to celebrate our uniqueness. And at first, I was like, when I was trying to think of a concept for the talent show, I was like, well, I don't want people to think, oh, we're like a Rain Man or anything like that. I do not want that stereotype. But at the same time, I really wanted to encourage that, like, we can do anything that a neurotypical can. So that's what my goal was. And I was really, really afraid of that. I was like, I want, to show the positive, but also not show the, people that have to jump to conclusions like, oh, what's your special interest, or what's your Rain Man quality, like, super gift. I did not want that. But like so I was trying to really balance it in between both of that to keep it positive, but at the same time, like I said, that we can do anything that a neurotypical can, and probably even better in some cases. So that's what I really wanted to showcase. And you're right, you do hear about negatives all the time. Like when I do research every day for the blog, I see countless articles about like, abuse and like how to cure it and all that, or like children articles, and it's like, ugh, kind of gets kind of like a little painful just to do the research for that, because that's all I hear. Is like, that's why I really, really strive to make it positive, because like
Mm-hmm.
there's such a huge cloud of negativity. I wanted to add a cloud of positivity.
Yeah, I was diagnosed. I was 16, but like I felt like most of my life everyone was always focusing on what I couldn't do instead of what I could do, and was like, well, we need to help you with these things instead of pushing me to thrive in the areas that I was good at.
Exactly. That's what.
And so that is what autism tries to do, is go, well, if you're not good at that, we don't need to, pursue that as a career or anything.
Right.
you know um and normally when you focus on those better areas, like, you'll see people's mental health improve, and they're happier, and then they're willing to do more of those, daily tasks that they don't like bathing, and
Right.
those chores that normally we're stereotypically know not to be good at.
Right.
um, and I think that a lot of those things coincide because a lot of us have anxiety and depression and all these things as well. Where, like, when you're depressed, you don't want to do the mundane things that are harder, And so
And it's
a
like,
lot of times when you focus on those positive areas, so many things go away that you were forcing yourself to consider a problem.
right, like you don't even think about the negative things until like it's like, wow, you know what? And someone else brings it up saying like, wow, you're doing this, and it's like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about it. I'm just too busy happy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just gets easier once you think positive. One of the things in the social work that they always tell us when I was in school was to use the strengths perspective, and that is to always look at a person's strengths, focus on, okay, well, this person has a dilemma. We don't use the word problem. We use the word dilemma, or we use like let's focus on what they desire and what they are good at, and not focus on like oh, this person's homeless, they don't have a job and all that. Let's focus on like hey, this person's great at math. This person has resilience because they're here this far, and this is what their goals are. Let's focus on that, and that's like I believe like to be optimistic, it's kind of like a working muscle because it's so easy to like to be negative. It's so much easier.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah.
So like it's a working muscle to constantly strengthen yourself to see positive light, and that's like I'm always working on that self myself too. It's like if you once you quit, it's easy to just fall down and not even think about it, and then but once you start it's like going to the gym. You just kind of work on that part of your brain, see the light, and see like
Mm-hmm.
what you're good at the present and what you want in the future. And that really helps you have a healthier state of mind.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I know one of like there's a lot of tricks that help you to change to a positive mindset, and um like I know there's like listing like the things that went well during the day, and it could be like something as small as, what, my breakfast tasted good today, and like just starting there gets you in the right direction instead of at the end of the day thinking about everything you did wrong and all the cringy moments. Like,
Oh yeah,
starting with making that list will just, whether you write it down or you think it, or like that, those sort of activities, as stupid as they sound, really help you to
yeah.
change the way you think, and then naturally over time that's what you focus on instead of the negative things.
Oh, absolutely. Like the littlest things make a big difference sometimes. And like you said, the note card, writing things down, or telling things in your head, or just there's other practices of like art. There's a lot of arts and crafts ideas. I remember
Mhm.
I did a handprint once, and it's like what you like about yourself.
Mhm.
It's just like and then it's just like just questions like that is like thinking, like you said, in a positive direction can go a long way, no matter how small it is.
Yeah, I just posted recently about the how we create these stories or these theses, and I use parents as the example because I have a lot of moms that follow me,
Yeah.
but we can use this positive mindset kind of thing where, like, I see a lot of people post things like, oh, it was my birthday and everything was going right until, dinner time, and then, this one thing went wrong and it ruined my whole day. I'm like, what if you flip that and went, you know what? Everyone was really nice to me and I had a really great day. We had one slip up, but it happens. No one's perfect.
Exactly.
Then the day was great, right? When you
Right.
so it's all about like what you focus on.
Exactly. It's like, the way you focus on it, and then it's hard to, like I said earlier, it's all muscle and how you focus on it.
Yeah. So like if you have this thesis that today was bad, then you're gonna find all the negative things in the day. You're gonna prove it right.
Oh yeah.
Where if you flip it and go, you know what, today was a good day, then you'll find all the good things that happened that day. Because no day is like one or the other.
Right.
So you can. I mean, normal days, obviously, there's
Right.
um, uh, things that go wrong or things that go really right. But for the most part, on an average day, you're going to see both negative and positive. And so it's what you focus on that really helps. So if you're looking at autism through a negative lens, you're going to see just the negative. So if you're looking at it through a positive lens, you're going to see more of the great things that it brings. And
Exactly. And not only that, if you just see
it's so helpful.
all you're gonna see is autism, you don't see the benefits.
Yeah.
Bring.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I get asked a lot. Is this something that's autism related, or is it just teenager related, or is it just this or this or blah blah blah? I'm like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
It's that person being that person. Like, look at them as a whole being, not as autism, teenager, girl. Like, it's them as a person doing something.
But I'll be fully honest, I'm guilty of that. Because like when I found out that you like to wear yellow all the time, I was like, wow, I like to wear black, dark clothes all the time. And I was like, I never met anyone else who's like that. Maybe it is autism.
Yeah. I have a twin, so if like I do something, then everyone will ask if she does it. So like when people found out I wore yellow all the time, they're like, "Oh, did your twin sister have a color?" I'm like, "Do most people have a color? No. Like she's not just gonna do everything I do."
Right.
And if she ever wears yellow, it's like, "Oh, it's the yellow twins." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. She doesn't do this thing. She just has yellow in her closet as well."
Right. But me, it's like, wow, I feel less alone because, like, I found someone else who has similar quirk as me.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm not as alien as I originally thought.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know if this is autism or not, but regardless, I'm less alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I've met like it's more common than I thought. I've met a bunch of people who wear only one color or only a couple colors and that's it. And I've learned I've someone told me about color therapy, and when I looked into it, I was already doing it before I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And colors really affect us, and some of us more than others. So those of us that choose one color, it strongly affects us, and there's a reason we're drawn to it. And so like when you wake up in the morning and you choose an outfit, there's a reason you do that.
Right.
There's a reason we have all the colors in our wardrobe as we do, or don't have a certain color. And what I find really interesting is because now that I've noticed that kind of stuff, we wear colors based on our environment. Like if you notice, I live at the beach, so everyone wears blues and tans, and they look like a beach.
Yeah.
And then when I go somewhere like a city, like in New York, everyone wears black because it's city. And then when I go somewhere that's like foresty and greenery, everyone wears green. It's so crazy.
I noticed that too.
We're sheep. We just go with what's around us. Like,
Right.
so then once in a while you see someone wear something different, like me who wears yellow, and people are like, so like, why do you do? There has to be a reason, and it has to be like profound. And I'm just like, no, I just like yellow. It makes me feel good. And people are just like, that's it? That's all you got? I'm like, does there need to be more?
Exactly. It's happiness is like, the main goal of life. You know, if it makes you happy, go for it. If it's not
Yeah.
hurting you or hurting anyone else, go for it.
And I think that's something that a lot of autistic people have innately in them is they just go for what they like and what's comfortable more so than other people who like feel a need to fit in. Where
Right.
I don't think we have even awareness that we should try to fit in sometimes. Like that gets pushed on us. And we're like, wait, we're supposed to be doing that? I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so could see that would be why autistic people dress differently than you would expect. And often wear the same things since we all wear what's comfortable.
Right.
But I feel like everyone wants to wear what we wear.
Right.
They just have a need to wear whatever is in or what everyone else is wearing. Because I can see like trends just start out of nowhere where everyone all of a sudden is wearing like the same type of clothes. I'm like, I didn't even know you could buy that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just like whatever makes you comfortable and whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. So I'd love to. I'd be really interested in hearing your story as it relates to autism. One of my favorite questions to ask is what the diagnosis was like for you. If it was like a really great experience for your family to get the diagnosis, if there was a mourning period, um, those sort of things. And I didn't go through early intervention, and I wonder like what your experience is like with that, because I know a lot of adults now are talking about early intervention, and I think those voices are important because we haven't really seen what happens with that until this generation, really.
Right.
So I'm curious because I didn't go. I did ABA and a couple things when I was like 16 or 17, but I think that's different than when you were really young. You don't have to talk about the specifics. I'm just curious, like,
it's fine. So,
what your story is.
at 3, and so I don't have a lot of memories on it. I do remember like going to get my brain scanned and like just not really understanding what was going on. Like I didn't even know it was a brain scan much later in my life. But I remember my mom just crying, and I was like, and I was just playing with a Free Willy doll. That's what it was in at the time. And my mom was just like, I was like so confused of why she was crying, like and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be fine, honey." And that's all I remember from that specifically. But then that's probably one of my earliest memories. But when I learned at the time it was called Asperger's, and so I remember that my dad sitting down and telling me like, Allison, you are different. Nothing wrong with that. You just have a different, a different stack of cards, and in some cases, you're gonna have to work harder to equal up to people. You know, to do the same task that might come easy to them, like no big deal. But in other cases, you're going to have, these strong talents that like are very unusual that will come easy to you, but be very difficult for others. You just gotta find those strong talents, and we'll work on this together. We'll work on working on these struggles as well. So I remember my dad told me that at a really young age, and I had ABA, I had occupational therapy, I had speech therapy because I had really trouble with my THs. So instead of saying 3, I would say free. My brother's name is Matthew, so I would say mash you, stuff like that. And then I have fine motor skills struggles with my hands. So like I had trouble writing. I had trouble with jump rope, which is what everyone as a young kid wanted to play. And struggles with gym class and all that. So I'd have OT help me with that. And
Okay, good.
then I
Can't see the video.
What?
Okay, something showing up.
The live video that was just but unplayed.
Hello?
Yep.
Okay, now you're back. So I think you're on.
Yeah, I don't see Allison.
She's on.
I see you. I see you. Don't know if you see me though.
Okay. I'm here, but I don't know Allison. I was pulled the internet out. He was right now.
Okay. Please.
You see her?
Yeah.
I can hear her.
We can see you guys.
Okay. She sees me.
I can open you guys.
Okay, she says that I cannot see or hear her.
And you'll hear a delay if you're online.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
We're in technical difficulties. People can hear us.
I heard it when you put out.
It's you. It's your voice.
Yeah. We can see it. You see it.
This is not happening live. Okay. Um,
Hello.
okay. Like I'm just gonna restart.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be back.
I'll just write.